11.2.7 is live. It's been live for a couple of days now, which means your first week of 11.2.7 is almost done, depending on when you're watching this. So what are the things you should get done this week at least, the first week of 11.2.7? Let's see and get some advice here from our friend, Kalani.
Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 11.2.7 is now live, and this will be the last major content patch for the War Within expansion. There's a lot of new content to explore, and the housing feature is now available, which is insane. But with so much to do,
can I just say
quite a few things not working.
One thing real quick. My favorite thing about the housing feature so far, the music. Oh my god, the music is just like... Blizzard, you know, WoW always has good music. Like, it's the one thing that almost never misses. I would say, like, of all the zones ever put in WoW, the Maw probably has the shittiest music ever. But besides that, like, they're really... Blizzard don't miss. They don't miss on music. And my god, the music, at least for the Alliance neighborhood, I don't know about the Horde, but it is so good. Inside the house, inside the neighborhood, it is just a chef's kiss. So damn good. Oh, speaking of music.
Working as they should, there are a few things we would suggest you do first to minimize your downtime and get around some frustrating bugs. So let's go over what you can do in patch 11.2.7 and what you should do first to avoid wasting your time. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing I'd recommend you do is check out the new housing feature. When you first log in, the patch splash screen includes a huge Start Quest Now button for the housing experience, or you can just accept the pop-up quest. Either way, you will be herded into housing the first time you log in.
Yep.
To get to the housing area, you can use the portal in your capital city's portal room, or you can just press H or open up the housing page and click on Start Tutorial. That will teleport you straight there, so you don't actually have to go to the capital city if you don't want to.
Right.
The initial quest will...
Also, if you're a Horde player inside of an Alliance neighborhood, you can't use the freaking portal. So you only can use the Hearthstone.
Will take you to...
Crazy thing about that stone that we found out in another video before was if you click it again, it returns you to where you used it. So that's a crazy feature that was so under the rug. I never knew about it, and then some other creator mentioned it. I was like, what? No way. So yeah, you can go to your neighborhood and come back to your same spot.
Your housing district steward who will guide you through your next steps. The steward can give you directions to various important NPCs and decor vendors. You can open up the house finder to look at other neighborhoods and their current plot offerings, and this is actually the only way to open the house finder before you move on with the tutorial, so keep that in mind. This NPC is also who you talk to create a guild neighborhood and eventually a charter neighborhood. Those will not be available in this initial housing launch, so we'll have to...
Wait, you had Horde players killing the vendors in the Alliance? Are you serious? Was that a thing? Yeah, I'm sure Blizzard's gonna disable that, but that's freaking... that's funny.
Wait for the pre-patch or midnight expansion.
That's what happens. You let the orcs in, there goes the neighborhood. Oh, man.
Guild private neighborhoods.
This used to be a peaceful
neighborhood. To move on
neighborhood.
with the tutorial, you'll need to pick a plot and buy your first house. I would recommend checking out all of the different biomes in your housing district, and the best way to do that is to swap your flying style to static, or the old kind of flying, and just fly around the neighborhood to find something that looks cute or cool to you. You can also open your world map to check for open plots and see if you'd want to pick one of those. Any of the plots that are blank are going to be available, and if they are taken, then you can see exactly who owns that house and plot. You should also familiarize yourself with the locations of flight paths, the portal back to your main city, the house upgrade NPC, and the bulletin board. If you can't find a plot that you like in your current neighborhood, talk to the steward, open up the house finder, and look for another neighborhood to explore. It's probably worth noting down the plot numbers of the ones that you are most interested in, and then keep refreshing your neighborhood options until you find one with those plots available. If you do find one that you want to check out, you can click visit on the plot to teleport to it, and you'll actually reserve that plot for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was actually worried about getting my plot, but then I realized, hey, none of you guys could pick plots yet until the guild master opened up the neighborhood. So as your guild master, I was able to pick the plot that I wanted because the neighborhood wasn't open all night until I woke up in the morning and opened up the neighborhood for people to pick.
So you don't have to lock it in right away,
So that was
but
nice.
you do get a grace period so no one can swoop in and snatch it from you. If your guild has a neighborhood set up,
Abuse
that
of
will
authority.
also appear in your house finder list on the left-hand side, so you can choose to set up shop in your guild neighborhood or join a public neighborhood instead. It's totally up to you. To buy a plot, you just need to walk up to the signpost and click on it. Then you can buy the plot if it's empty. Your first house is free, so everyone can buy a house right away with no gold farming required.
That was a nice one from Blizzard. I'm not gonna lie, because from what I've heard in Final Fantasy, like buying a house is like an extremely expensive endeavor. But Blizzard went with the whole route of, well, we're just gonna make the first house free. And they could have easily made it cost a lot of gold and gotten a bunch of WoW token purchases out of this whole thing, but they didn't. They went the free route. Now, maybe they're going to make a lot of money on you on the back end, and that's why they're giving everyone a house. Maybe. Yeah, probably. But still, I mean, it was at least a decent gesture to make the first house free.
Wouldn't that be nice? Now, even if you aren't crazy happy with the plot
Before you go buy all your
available to you, I
Hearthsteel.
do think it's better to just buy a
Hearthsteel.
plot now to get the ball rolling, especially with how laggy the House Finder window has been so far on patch day. The main reason for this suggestion is that the housing dashboard doesn't actually become available until after you purchase your first house. You'll just be stuck on the tutorial screen forever. The housing dashboard includes your house level, the reward track, your house teleport spell to let you get back to your plot super fast, and you can open the house finder at the top at any time.
Nice.
When you first enter your house, you'll have the option of going through a Decor tutorial. I would strongly recommend you follow that tutorial if you haven't been playing around with the housing on the PTR or beta.
Yeah, one thing I will say about this tutorial, it's super strict. Like, you gotta do the stuff it tells you, or you can't advance in the tutorial or do anything else. That's where I'm at right now. I got stuck in the tutorial because I tried to do shit on my own, and then I realized, oh, I'm stuck in tutorial mode. I gotta finish this out.
Or if you just have very little experience with housing features in other games. It's not super complicated, but the tutorial will show you where each tool is and how it works. So it's definitely worth the time investment if you're actually interested in the housing system. Spend some time playing around with decor, placing them, removing them, scaling them, and moving them around. There are advanced tools that let you very precisely place your items, and you can start tinkering around with room layouts and all that good stuff. This is an incredible system with a lot of potential, especially if you like this kind of thing. Now, you can have one house for each faction. That is your limit, so you can only have 2 houses maximum, and these houses are account-wide, so all of your characters share the same house or houses. To buy a Horde plot and house, you will need to be logged into a Horde character. To buy an Alliance house, you'll need to be logged into an Alliance character. There is a bit of a weird bug right now where the portal to your faction...
Do you have to be logged into an Alliance character? Like, there was an issue yesterday where there's Horde characters in the guild who haven't created a house yet. I think they're allowed to come into the Alliance neighborhood and make an Alliance house, even though they're a Horde character as their first house. Somebody was like, no, you got to log in on an Alliance character first in the guild, and then you get to use it as your Horde character. I don't know which is right, because I'm an Alliance character anyway, so I wouldn't have experienced this. Guild system is probably different. I think that's what it is. It's a guild system, it's different than the regular system. You need to buy a house plot with your ally first, but what if you don't have an ally character in the guild? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if there's any Horde characters out there who experienced it yet.
Housing district might just send you to the location where you already have a house. So the Alliance portal can take you to the Horde district if you bought a Horde house first. To get around this, you need to talk to the steward right next to the portal and just use the house finder to visit a neighborhood. Then you can explore, find a plot you like, and buy one up. Your first house is free, but the second one will cost you 1,000 gold, so still pretty cheap for the most part, but you will need to make sure that your alts have at least a little bit of gold to fund that house purchase. After a house or plot has been purchased, you can freely teleport to them using your housing dashboard. You can swap between your Horde and Alliance house in the drop-down menu at the top right, and then just teleport to whichever you want. All of your Horde characters can visit and build in your Alliance house and vice versa, so you only have to worry about being on the right faction for that initial plot purchase. Now, if you ever want to move your house, that's actually super easy and totally free right now. Just find a new plot that you want to occupy, whether that's a new plot in the same neighborhood, or a new plot in a different neighborhood, or maybe you want to move to a guild neighborhood or a charter neighborhood when they become available later on. Just interact with the signpost for the new...
I believe it moves your house too, right? It does. Like when you pick a new plot, say you've already got your alliance house, it just picks up your entire house and moves it to the new plot.
And hit move house. The moving cost is totally waived, so moving house is completely free. All of your decor also moves seamlessly as well.
And the art
so you don't have to tear everything down or take screenshots for how everything was laid out. Both the exterior and interior decor just copy over.
It's some interesting tech they put in for housing, honestly. I don't know what else they can use this for, but there's some really cool stuff they're doing here.
So you can move house and not lose a single minute of time spent decorating your house. It is worth noting that only an Alliance character can move a house in the Alliance neighborhood, and only a Horde character can move a house in the Horde neighborhood, so you are going to have to keep one character of each faction handy if you want to tinker about with both factions' houses. So that's how buying a house and decorating it works, but how do we go about getting our hands on more decor to fill up these rooms? If you open your housing dashboard, there's a second tab called Decor Catalog. This will show you every decor item available and where they come from if it's currently in-game. Quite a lot of items are not available just yet, which can make looking through the catalog a bit tedious, but thankfully there are a couple of add-ons that can help. Homebound shows you decor rewards from
everyone keeps talking about this
achievements that you can for sure complete right now. It's organized into different expansions and you can narrow things down a bit in the filters. And then Decor Vendor lists all of the vendors who sell decor pieces, and if you have a coordinates add-on like TomTom, you can set a waypoint on the map for you to follow. There are a lot of new vendors who will sell decor, and decor has been added to a bunch of older vendors as well, including faction or reputation vendors. You'll have to fork over quite a bit of gold, but it's one of the fastest ways to acquire a mountain of decor. There are also some quests in the housing district that reward you with decor items.
I just want to say, when I saw this guy, the last architect, I was so upset that what's their name? Oh my God, ethereals are not playable because he looks so cool. His armor set and the way it's on his body and everything, he just looks so damn cool. It's such a cool looking NPC, man. Why aren't these guys playable? I don't know.
So it's always worth picking those up and
we got
completing them.
freaking...
And a lot of decor can be made from professions as well. This includes older versions of your professions, by the way, so don't just look at your War Within profession recipe book. You'll want to go learn every expansion's version of your profession and look through those as well. Almost all profession-related recipes will need a new material called lumber, and there's a different lumber for each expansion by the looks of things. To collect lumber, you're going to need to talk to the lumberjack in your housing district. They should have a pink important quest for you that teaches you how to harvest lumber out in the world. Make sure you buy a hatchet from them as well so you can track the nodes.
Oh yeah, this is something too that I wanted to mention. You guys remember how I told you can chop down trees everywhere in the world right now, but except for Draenor? The warlords of Draenor's shit, for some reason, cannot be chopped right now. And Blizzard said they're working on it, but it's going to take a couple weeks. What they did instead was they added the Shadow Moon lumber, which is what you would get from Warlords of Draenor, on this guy, on the lumberjack vendor. And what you can do is convert wood from other areas into that wood right now. So because it's not available to actually be chopped down, you could still get it. You just got to convert it to this wood via this vendor. Just a little insider tip there. Someone from the comment section of my last YouTube video actually mentioned it when I was saying it.
On your mini-map for easy collections. Now, unfortunately, if you haven't pre-ordered Midnight yet, you won't be able to take part in the vast majority of the housing system. So if you haven't seen some of these quests,
you're probably
or you aren't able to buy a house just yet, if you haven't pre-ordered Midnight, that is going to be the reason why. I think you can only really start collecting decor and completing quests in the housing districts. So if you really want to buy a house and start decorating, you will need to have the Midnight expansion locked and loaded. Housing isn't the only thing to do in this patch though. You can also take part in the Turbulent Timeways event that offers back-to-back time walking until February 9th. So I hope you aren't bored of time walking just yet, because it's sticking around for 10 weeks straight. It's the perfect time to farm time warp badges, buy time warped vendor rewards, or level up any alts that you haven't gotten around to yet. Every time walking dungeon you run will give you a stacking experience bonus buff, and at 4 stacks it turns into Mastery of the Timeways that gives you even more experience, but most importantly, if you get this buff for 5 weeks during the event, you'll earn the Master of the Turbulent Timeways 4 achievement, which rewards you with a mount voucher that you can exchange at Overseer Tariden for one of 4 new Covenant-themed mounts. You can only buy one of the 4 mounts with a voucher, but the other 3 will be available from the Time Walking vendor for Timed Warp badges after you've completed the achievement. So you can pick up all 4.
Those towers need to be put where are the windows are. But anyways, our houses are going to get bigger. Like right now we're limited in terms of home size. The towers I think will look better once the homes get bigger.
You'll just have to spend
but I agree,
quite a few
they're kind of
badges
janked
to
in where they're
get them
putting
all.
them right now.
This event also introduced Shadowlands Time Walking, so 6 Shadowlands dungeons have been added into the Time Walking rotation, just in case you didn't have enough fun running Shadowlands dungeons the last few times we've seen them as part of the Mythic Plus dungeon rotation.
Yeah, crazy buff
There's
to
also
XP
a
from
new
this right
vendor
now.
for the Shadowlands Time Walking event with a bunch of new Shadowlands themed goodies to pick up, like mounts, pets, toys, and a lot of transmog. You can also buy any of the previous Turbulent Timeways meta achievement mounts for 5,000 Time Warp badges each, so if you missed the past events, you can still pick up those cool mounts, like the Buzzbee or the Pirate Dragon mount. I hope you've been stockpiling your Time Warp badges. Remember that as the weeks go by and as the Time Walking events rotate through every available expansion, those Time Walking vendors will change and be available as well. Usually we have to wait quite a long time for the expansions to cycle through, so this is going to be a great time to buy anything from all of the other expansion Time Walking vendors that you might want. The other big event coming back in this patch is the Brawl.
That's a good point from Silvery. Don't forget to get the furniture in Legion Remix. Because once Legion Remix, once that portal closes, you can't go back. So that's kind of a limited time thing. You want to make sure you get those with your bronze.
Brawlers Guild, but that's not actually active just yet. The Brawlers Guild will open its doors once more on December 9th, so we will have to wait until next week to test our mettle against the new and updated encounters. Patch 11.27 also introduced some story epilogue quests that lead us into the Midnight expansion. You can start these quests by talking to the Silverhand Squire just outside of the bank in Dornagal. No spoilers, but we will see some familiar faces and we'll be learning what they've been up to. If you're hungry...
And where do you buy the furniture in Remix? From the vendor that sells the furniture in Remix. Yeah, that's where... I don't know. I don't fucking know. What are you guys asking me for? Yeah, I'm sure it's in the main campsite area in Legion Remix. The furniture might be divided up amongst the different vendors, but just go check the vendors. I have no idea.
For more story content, Lorewalker Cho has a new lore-walking quest that goes over the history and origins of the Blood Elves and Void Elves, both of which are going to play
in the bazaar after the 9th. Okay, so he's not available till next week. There you go. Next week, you'll be able to buy the furniture.
Important role in Midnight. So if you aren't too confident in your elf lore, this quest should hit the important story beats that got us to where we are now, so you can fully enjoy the Midnight story experience early next year.
Yeah.
You can also pop by the Tome of History, which is right next to Lorewalker Cho in Dornagal, and work through the War Within recap story. This goes over the main story plot points of the War Within expansion in a streamlined way. You can use this new questing option to quickly level from 70 to 80 on any alts you might have left over, to re-experience the story of the current expansion, to get ready for Xalatas invasion in Midnight, and you'll also get some gear at the very end to make sure your characters don't get too left behind in terms of item level. Completing this experience also rewards you with some decor for your house collection as well. This patch also introduces the Heritage Armor set and questline for the Pandaren, so if you like to play a lot of pandas, you can return to the Wandering Isle and celebrate all things Pandaren. Now, there are a couple of other updates that you might be interested in exploring. Skyriding Vigor has been removed, and you now
great
just have
change. I just want to say great change. Yesterday I was playing, love it. I love not having the freaking Vigor. I know some people, maybe they like the dynamic build up your vigor minigame, but I didn't care for it. No, he is out. I'm in front of him right now. So is he out or not? I don't know. Maybe he's in the bazaar near the dummies. Okay, maybe you can buy some furniture. I have no idea. Either way, just make sure before Legion Remix ends you get the fucking furniture. That's all I'm saying.
charges to use between your fly up and fly forward abilities. Whirling Surge is now just a 30-second cooldown, so you can use that whenever you want without having to worry about it actually being efficient, and the other abilities have their own cooldowns too. So you're not going to have that big vigor bar taking up a good chunk of your UI anymore, so that's kinda cool. The one-button rotation was also supposed to be updated to work with the press and hold casting option, so that should reduce the amount you have to spam your keybind if you do play with the one-button rotation right now. I'm not entirely sure this is working properly right now though. In fact, the press and hold feature seems to have been broken.
Somebody said it wasn't working. Another YouTube comment. I saw somebody saying, hey, is anybody else's click and hold single button rotation not working? And besides the comments that were replying to that person telling them to stop fucking using the single button rotation, there was some good feedback and people were replying that it's kind of broken right now. So that's just an FYI. They added the click and hold feature to single button rotation. It's not really working. So it's not just you
in this patch, but there are quite a few bugs popping up right now, so hopefully that gets fixed soon as well. That's pretty much everything that is new to do in patch 11.2.7, but Legion Remix still has about a month and a half left on it, so if you're not done with your Legion Remix checklists, this would be a good time to tick a few extra things off before the pre-patch event arrives in the new year. But that's everything you can do in patch 11.2.7 and what we would recommend you do first, so that's it for this video. What do you think of the housing feature from what you've played so far? Is there anything glaringly obvious that you feel is missing, and what would you love to see added in the future? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.
Nice video. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff, I mean, you can get done this week. Jump into the housing. If you want to level up, we talked about it already this morning. Do the Turbulent Timeways shit, because with the reduction and the bonuses right now, with the anniversary event, you're leveling like 185% faster. It's crazy. Anyways, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of fun to be had. The final patch of the War Within. Get it done. Nice video from Kalani.